All right, what's up, my indigenous people? Welcome back. How you guys doing today? Before we get started, I want to do a quick shout out. First, I want to thank Frank Luhan for buying the shirt. He was actually one of my first buyers. Thank you, sir. His Instagram's gonna be down below, so go give that a quick look. Check him out. Give him a follow. Maybe slide into them DMs. Next, we got Vanessa James. She actually bought 2 shirts, so shout out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We got Anthony Hale. He has his own YouTube channel. And he goes over gaming and stuff like that. I'm gonna leave his YouTube channel name and probably a link to the channel down below. Next we got Kobe Emerson. He's close friends with my cousin and stuff. He actually bought 2 things too, so shout out to you, Kobe. I appreciate that. And then we got Lionel Nez. Thank you. Josiah Sosi. Thank you, sir. Mark Thompson. Thanks, man. Joe Chi. Thank you. And then we got Quincy Smith. Thanks, man. I really appreciate all you guys for doing that. And then last on the number 10, the 10 people that bought stuff, we got my friend, my really close friend. We met in college. His name is Trent Yazzie. So shout out to Trent. I'm going to leave his Instagram down below as well. So Amties, if you're feeling frisky, go give him a follow. Go slide into them DMs, see what happens. You never know. He's a really cool dude. Just a quick thing too. He offered to send some pictures of him wearing some of the merchandise so we can see what it looks like on body. So I'm gonna upload that to my Instagram. Doing some marketing and stuff for that. And then we got a little bonus person. We got Russell Begay, former Navajo Nation president Russell Begay. Shout out to you. Hopefully, I'm not getting trolled by some rando on the internet just trolling me, but hey, if I am, thank you for buying a shirt either way. But if it is the real Russell Begay, thank you. I think it's really cool that you're out here supporting indigenous entrepreneurs, 1, and 2, supporting indigenous content creators. So that's really cool. It's cool to see a local leader do that. Today, I wanted to continue the theme of Zil and kind of talk about some history. It's not going to go too in-depth or anything. Before I do that, I just want to do a quick disclaimer and encourage everyone, whenever you hear someone talking about history or going over historic topics or anything like that, it's always good to, go against the grain. It's always good to fact check, to look up whatever you're reading or hearing, to look up and see if what that person is talking about is true and factual and reliable. So I encourage all of you guys to do that. Pick apart what I'm saying. If you feel like it's not true, feel free to go and do your own research and pick that apart. It's always good. And then let me know. Keep me informed, because it's always best to be as educated as possible, because honestly, knowledge is the most valuable thing that we as human beings have. So, feel free to do that. And then also, secondary disclaimer, this one's mostly for my non-indigenous, non-native viewers. When I'm talking about history, I'm not going to bring up the colonized perspective. I'm probably going to bash the colonized perspective a lot, because history, is written by colonizers, by basically the people that are oppressing us indigenous peoples. So I'm definitely not going to talk about history through the colonized perspective. And I just want to, encourage my white brothers and sisters to try and look through a lens that is decolonized as well. There's been so many times in my life where I've told a white person that I was indigenous, that I was native, that I was Diné, that I was Navajo, and for some reason they would get mad. They would say some really ignorant stuff like, "Oh, you guys get government checks every month. You guys don't have to pay taxes. You guys still live in teepees." They say some really crazy, ignorant things, and then when I would correct them and educate them, and sometimes I would be rude, sometimes I wouldn't, just based off of how respectful or disrespectful they were being. I would, educate them and tell them, no, what you're doing is you're perpetuating stereotypes. You're talking about stereotypes, and that's incorrect. And sometimes they would take it well, and a lot of times they would not. The ones that didn't take it well, they would say some really ignorant things, I guess. They would say, oh, whatever, you're just mad because your people lost. This isn't your land anymore. You people lost. Get over it. It's over. It's in the history books now. Don't worry about it. You're not living like that anymore. And to my white brothers and sisters out there, that I know a lot of you don't say this, but please, just look through our perspective, because despite what you believe, what you've been told, the craziest stereotypes that you guys hear, yes, it was in the past. Yes, it is a part of history, but the effects of the genocide that your people committed on mine are still here today. And even if you look beyond that, we're still being oppressed by your people today, by this government, by this system, by everything that is set up. It's working against us today. A good example of how we're still feeling the effects of your genocide against my people is the fact that I can't hold a conversation in my own language with my great-grandparents. And that might not seem as bad to some people. I mean, be like, oh, well, you're not trying hard enough to learn your language. And I've been trying to learn my language my whole life. It's not easy. It's not easy when you run into a white person, they make you feel bad for being native, when they belittle you and treat you like you're less than human for being native. It's not easy to try and learn your language when the people that are teaching it can't teach it to you consistently every single day. When even if you do learn your language, you can't really bring it home because your parents might not know it either. So you can't have conversations and whole conversations with your parents in your own language, so you don't maintain that knowledge. And you don't have someone there every step of the way to speak with you and make sure you're enunciating and pronouncing things right. Anyway, I guess one of the effects of the genocide that your people committed against mine is the fact that I can't speak to my grandparents. And it's easy to say, get over it. You're not trying hard enough to learn your own language. That's on you. It's easy to say that, but all you got to do is look through a different lens. Change your glasses. Put on something different and, try on my moccasins and walk a mile in them. And you will see that because I can't speak with my grandparents, because I can't hold a conversation with them, they will never truly know me, and I will never truly know them. If we sit in a room together, there's always going to be a constant awkward silence because we don't know how to communicate. And to this day, I grew up around them. I've interacted with them, but as a person, as an individual, they don't know who I am. They don't know my personality. They don't know me. And it's the same. I don't know who they are. I don't know their personality. I don't know them. So that's an example of the genocide that your people committed that's still affecting us today. So before you go and say you lost, we won, think about what you're saying. You're being proud of committing a genocide. You're being proud that your ancestors murdered millions of indigenous people. And you saying that's perpetuating the idea that we can be seen as less than human. So before you do that, change your glasses. Take off your shoes and throw on my moccasins. Change your perspective and walk a mile in my moccasins and you will see. You will see that we're not the problem. That we can't get over something because we're still affected by it today. That's to my white brothers and sisters. Please, whenever I talk about history, whenever you hear about indigenous history, change your lens. Look through my eyes and walk in my shoes. That being said, I wanted to continue the theme of zeal, of strength. Zeal. That's, the clothing brand. That's strength. That's resilience. And I wanted to do a quick little thing, just to empower my indigenous people. Be proud of where you come from. Be proud of the tragic history of the genocide that we survived, of the internment camps that we were forced into. Because despite all of that, despite the fact that our grandparents were beaten and abused and murdered inside boarding schools, we're still here today. We're still standing today, and we can still hold our heads up and build each other up today. Be proud of that, because you have strength running through your veins. It's embedded in your DNA. You've been taught that strength since the day you were born. And even though every day is hard, and even though there's obstacles just to exist as indigenous people in this country, in this world, you're still here, you're still standing, you're still strong. So be proud of that. Embrace your history. And know that it's not all tragedy. There are plenty of triumphs too. And I'm actually going to be talking about that in the next video. So stay tuned. Hold your head up. And be proud of who you are, where you came from, of what you are. Because you are beautiful. You are unique. But the best thing about you is you are indigenous. I'll see you next time, brothers and sisters. Have a great day.